These 9 medications could trigger rapid dementia. Your daily pill routine might be stealing your memories. But here's what doctors rarely tell you about those prescription bottles in your medicine cabinet. The medications you trust to keep you healthy could be the very reason you're forgetting your grandchildren's names. 9 medications sitting in medicine cabinets across America are quietly erasing minds faster than age ever could. What if the pills you take religiously every morning are the real reason your thinking feels foggy? Picture this. You take your morning medications like clockwork, but by afternoon you can't remember why you walked into the kitchen. Right now, millions of seniors are unknowingly taking prescribed medications that shocking studies directly connect to memory loss and cognitive decline. These aren't rare experimental drugs. They're widely prescribed treatments that physicians hand out every single day. The frightening part is that dementia rates are climbing, and it's not just because people are living longer. Aging brains are under attack from substances designed to heal other parts of the body. The most alarming medication dangers lurk behind familiar brand names and trusted prescriptions. Silent brain damage occurs gradually, making it nearly impossible to detect until devastating effects have already occurred. These memory thieves work slowly, systematically weakening your brain function, while you remain completely unaware of the assault happening inside your skull. Rapid dementia isn't always a natural aging process. Brain shrinkage can accelerate when certain chemicals interfere with neural pathways. Alzheimer's disease development may speed up dramatically when specific drug combinations enter your system. The most dangerous reality is that seniors taking medications daily often consume multiple substances that compound their harmful effects on cognition. Today I'm exposing 9 specific medications that cause dementia in seniors, ranked from concerning to absolutely devastating. These prescribed drugs linked to memory loss are probably sitting in your home right now. We'll explore exactly how each one damages your brain, and I'll reveal 3 powerful brain-protecting strategies most doctors never mention. You'll discover which drugs that shrink the brain pose the greatest threat, and learn about medications accelerating Alzheimer's disease symptoms that physicians rarely discuss with their patients. Medication number 9, over-the-counter sleep aids. Sleep aids you can buy without a prescription are one of the biggest hidden threats to memory in older adults. Millions of people take diphenhydramine thinking it's completely safe. This common ingredient is found in many nighttime medicines, cold treatments and allergy pills that you can buy anywhere. The dangerous mistake is thinking that anything you can buy without a prescription must be safe to use regularly. Diphenhydramine blocks important brain communication by interfering with chemical messengers that your brain cells need to work normally. When you take these medications, they don't just help you sleep. They actually disrupt the natural ways your brain moves information between cells. This interference creates a chain of problems that go far beyond making you sleepy. The acetylcholine connection shows how serious this problem really is. Acetylcholine is an important brain chemical responsible for making memories, learning new things, and keeping your mind sharp. When diphenhydramine blocks acetylcholine receptors, your brain loses its ability to properly make new memories and find old ones. This disruption happens every single time you take these medications, creating damage that builds up over months and years of regular use. Memory problems start small but get worse with continued use. Your brain has trouble moving experiences from short-term to long-term memory storage. This leaves gaps in your ability to remember recent events, conversations, or important information. The process gets worse as these chemicals build up in your system. Recognizing early warning signs is critical for protecting your memory. Watch for increased confusion after taking these medications, trouble remembering recent conversations, or feeling groggy well into the next day. Brain fog from prescription drugs often shows up as trouble thinking clearly, making decisions, or focusing on tasks that used to be easy. These symptoms mean that your brain chemistry is being changed in ways that threaten long-term memory health and independence. Medication number 8, acid reflux medications, PPIs. Acid reflux medications called proton pump inhibitors create a hidden problem where your heartburn relief might be starving your brain of important nutrients. These strong drugs work well to reduce stomach acid, giving quick relief from heartburn and acid reflux symptoms that bother millions of older adults. However, the same process that helps your stomach also hurts your body's ability to get vital brain-supporting nutrients from food. Problems with nutrient absorption happen because your digestive system needs enough acid to break down and process key vitamins and minerals. When proton pump inhibitors greatly reduce acid production, your intestine can no longer get nutrients that your brain needs to work properly. This creates a slow starvation effect where your thinking systems begin working with fewer resources. B12 and magnesium loss is the most serious problem from long-term proton pump inhibitor use. Vitamin B12 absorption needs enough stomach acid to separate this important nutrient from proteins in food. Without enough acid, B12 deficiency develops slowly, causing nerve damage, confusion, and serious memory problems. Magnesium absorption also gets hurt, leading to muscle weakness, irregular heartbeat, and poor brain cell communication. The effects on thinking become clear as these deficiencies get worse over months and years of treatment. B12 deficiency specifically attacks the nervous system, causing permanent damage to nerve fibers that carry signals throughout your brain and body. Magnesium deficiency disrupts hundreds of reactions needed for normal brain function, affecting everything from mood control to memory formation. Understanding the gut-brain connection shows why treating stomach problems can accidentally hurt thinking ability. Your digestive tract is the main pathway for nutrients that fuel brain metabolism and keep nerve cells healthy. When medications designed to treat stomach problems interfere with this nutrient pipeline, they create unintended problems that may not show up until significant memory decline has already happened, making prevention much better than trying to reverse damage. Medication number 7. Blood pressure medications, certain classes. Blood pressure medications given to millions of seniors carry a hidden risk because some blood pressure drugs slow more than your heart rate. They can seriously hurt mental sharpness. Certain types of these drugs create unexpected problems that go beyond their intended heart health benefits. While doctors focus on reducing high blood pressure risks, they rarely talk about how these treatments might hurt thinking ability. Specific types affect brain blood flow in ways that can starve brain tissue of oxygen and nutrients. Beta blockers and certain calcium channel blockers reduce the force and speed of blood flow throughout your entire blood vessel system. When blood pressure drops too much or circulation becomes too slow, your brain doesn't get enough blood flow to work at its best. This reduction in brain circulation can make thinking become slower, less sharp, and harder work than before treatment started. The balance between heart protection and brain function creates a medical problem that many doctors find hard to handle well. Strong blood pressure control prevents strokes and heart attacks, potentially saving lives and preventing disability. However, treatment that's too strong can reduce blood flow pressure to the brain to levels that hurt thinking abilities. Some patients experience mental dulling, slower processing speed, and poor decision-making ability as their blood pressure medications work too well. Brain blood flow needs careful adjustment of doses and drug choices. When blood flow to brain tissue becomes too low, brain cells begin working in a state of chronic oxygen shortage. This condition leads to gradual worsening of mental sharpness, particularly affecting complex reasoning, multitasking abilities, and quick information processing. Recognizing thinking side effects becomes essential for maintaining quality of life while managing high blood pressure. Watch for new problems with concentration, slower thinking patterns, or feeling mentally flat after starting blood pressure treatment. Medication side effects often develop slowly, making them easy to dismiss as normal aging rather than treatment-related problems that may need dose changes or different treatment approaches. Medication number 6, muscle relaxants. Muscle relaxants given for chronic pain create serious concerns because that back pain relief comes with a hidden thinking cost that most patients never expect. These strong drugs target your central nervous system to reduce muscle tension and spasms, but their effects go far beyond the intended treatment area. Muscle relaxants work by slowing down nerve signals throughout your entire nerve network, including pathways needed for clear thinking and mental alertness. Central nervous system slowing is the main way these medications provide pain relief. When muscle relaxants reduce nerve activity to lessen muscle contractions, they also slow down brain processes responsible for concentration, decision-making, and memory formation. This widespread nerve slowing affects thinking abilities in ways that can last long after the physical pain goes away. The sedating effects that make these drugs work for muscle tension also create mental sluggishness that interferes with daily activities. Long-term brain changes happen as your nerve system adjusts to the constant presence of these slowing chemicals. Over weeks and months of regular use, your brain begins depending on artificial chemical slowing to maintain what it thinks is normal function. This adjustment process leads to tolerance, requiring higher doses to get the same pain relief while also increasing thinking problems. Dependency develops not just physically but in the brain, as your brain loses its natural ability to control nerve signals without chemical help. Pain management alternatives become important for maintaining both physical comfort and thinking health. Non-drug approaches such as physical therapy, targeted exercises, heat therapy, and gentle stretching can provide significant relief without hurting mental sharpness. These methods address underlying muscle tension through natural ways that support, rather than slow down, normal nerve function. Alternative pain management awareness helps patients make informed decisions about balancing immediate comfort with long-term thinking preservation. Understanding that temporary pain relief might come at the cost of permanent mental clarity allows people to weigh their treatment options more carefully and explore safer approaches to managing chronic discomfort. Medication number 5. Anti-anxiety medications, benzodiazepines. Anti-anxiety medications known as benzodiazepines present a troubling problem where your calm might be costing you your clarity in ways that become increasingly serious over time. These widely prescribed drugs work well to reduce anxiety, insomnia, and muscle spasms by targeting specific brain receptors, but their calming effects come with serious thinking consequences that many patients don't discover until significant damage has happened. GABA system disruption is the foundation of how benzodiazepines achieve their healing effects while also harming mental function. GABA serves as your brain's primary calming neurotransmitter, naturally slowing down excessive brain activity to maintain emotional balance. When benzodiazepines artificially boost GABA activity, they create an unnatural state of brain suppression that goes far beyond anxiety relief. This chemical manipulation forces your brain activity into an artificially slowed state that hurts thinking processing. Brain adaptation happens as your nerve system tries to make up for the constant chemical interference. Over weeks of regular use, your brain reduces its natural GABA production, assuming that outside chemicals will handle this job. This adaptation creates a dangerous cycle where stopping the medication becomes extremely difficult, while continuing it progressively worsens thinking abilities. Tolerance, dependency, and thinking decline develop at the same time as your brain loses its ability to function normally without chemical help. Memory problems and confusion emerge as the most noticeable signs of benzodiazepine-caused thinking damage. These symptoms often begin subtly with occasional forgetfulness or trouble concentrating, then progress to more serious problems affecting daily functioning. Structural changes in brain tissue can happen with long-term use, potentially causing permanent changes to areas responsible for learning and recall. Recognizing the difference between anxiety relief and thinking problems becomes essential for protecting long-term mental health. True anxiety management should improve your ability to think clearly and function well, not create new problems with memory, decision-making, or confusion that hurt your independence and quality of life. Medication number 4, bladder control medications. Bladder control medications create a serious trade-off, where controlling your bladder shouldn't mean losing control of your mind. Yet that's exactly what happens with long-term use of these powerful drugs. These medications cross into brain tissue, where they interfere with essential brain chemical systems responsible for thinking function and memory formation. Anticholinergic effects on brain structure represent the most alarming result of bladder control medication use. These drugs block acetylcholine receptors throughout your nervous system, including critical areas of the brain involved in learning and thinking. When acetylcholine activity becomes suppressed, brain connections begin breaking down at a faster rate. This chemical interference actively damages the physical structure of brain tissue. Actual brain shrinkage in memory centers has been documented through advanced imaging studies of patients taking bladder control medications long-term. Research shows measurable reductions in brain volume, specifically affecting regions responsible for forming new memories and retrieving stored information. These structural changes appear permanent, meaning that thinking losses may continue even after stopping the medication. The learning and thinking problems progress gradually, making them difficult to detect until significant damage has happened. Patients often notice increased difficulty remembering recent conversations, following complex instructions, or learning new information. These changes frequently get dismissed as normal aging rather than medication-caused thinking decline. Balancing quality of life with thinking preservation requires careful consideration of the true costs versus benefits of bladder control medications. While urinary incontinence creates embarrassment and social limitations, the permanent loss of thinking abilities represents a far more serious consequence that affects every aspect of daily functioning and personal independence for years to come. Medication number 3. Certain antidepressants, tricyclics. Certain antidepressants known as tricyclics present a cruel irony, where some depression treatments create the very symptoms they're meant to heal, leaving patients worse off than before treatment began. These older medications carry significant risks that newer antidepressant classes have largely replaced, yet they remain prescribed to millions of seniors who may not understand their cognitive dangers. Neurotransmitter disruption beyond intended targets occurs because tricyclics affect multiple brain chemical systems at once. While targeting serotonin and norepinephrine to address mood symptoms, these drugs also have strong anticholinergic effects that interfere with acetylcholine function. This interference creates widespread brain disruption that affects memory, concentration, and mental clarity. The drowsiness and cognitive dulling that patients experience represent ongoing brain chemistry changes that can persist throughout treatment. The irony of cognitive symptoms mimicking depression creates diagnostic confusion that can trap patients in inappropriate treatment cycles. When tricyclics cause memory problems, reduced attention span, and mental fogginess, these symptoms closely resemble the cognitive aspects of depression itself. Doctors may interpret worsening cognitive function as inadequate treatment rather than medication-induced impairment, leading to dose increases that make the problem worse. A dose-dependent relationship exists between tricyclic use and cognitive decline, meaning higher doses and longer treatment increase the risk of permanent brain damage. Research shows that cognitive risks build up over time, with patients taking these medications for months or years facing significantly higher chances of developing dementia. Distinguishing medication effects from underlying conditions requires careful observation of symptom timing. True depression-related cognitive symptoms typically improve as mood stabilizes, while medication-induced impairments often worsen despite mood improvements. This distinction becomes critical for preventing unnecessary cognitive decline while addressing legitimate mental health needs through safer alternatives. Medication number 2, cholesterol medications, statins. Cholesterol medications known as statins create a complex medical problem where protecting your heart might be sacrificing your mind in ways that many patients never expect. These widely prescribed drugs work well to reduce heart disease risk, making them among the most commonly given medications for seniors. However, statins work by blocking cholesterol production throughout the entire body, including areas where this substance plays essential roles in brain function and thinking health. Brain cholesterol necessity versus whole body reduction reveals a basic conflict in how these medications work. Your brain contains about 25% of your body's total cholesterol, where it serves critical jobs in brain cell construction, maintenance, and communication. When statins reduce cholesterol production throughout the body, they accidentally starve brain tissue of materials essential for best thinking performance. Neurotransmitter production interference represents the most significant threat to mental function from statin use. Serotonin and dopamine creation requires adequate cholesterol levels to work normally. When statins limit cholesterol availability, neurotransmitter production becomes hurt, leading to symptoms that patients often describe as feeling mentally foggy or unable to concentrate well. Memory issues frequently develop in patients taking statins, particularly affecting the ability to form new memories and retrieve recently stored information. These thinking changes can happen within weeks of starting treatment and may get worse with higher doses or longer treatment time. Weighing heart benefits against thinking risks requires honest discussion about individual risk factors and treatment goals. While statins definitely save lives by preventing heart attacks and strokes, the thinking costs may outweigh the benefits for some patients, particularly those at lower heart disease risk who experience significant mental decline during treatment. Medication number 1, multiple anticholinergic combinations. Multiple anticholinergic combinations represent the most dangerous threat to senior thinking health because the deadliest risk isn't one pill, it's the combination of seemingly harmless medications that create devastating brain damage. These combination drugs often include cold medications, stomach drugs, and various treatments that patients take without realizing their shared way of working. Cumulative anticholinergic burden means each medication adds to a running total of acetylcholine blocking activity in your brain. When multiple drugs with anticholinergic properties are taken together, their effects multiply rather than add together. This creates much greater thinking damage than any single medication could produce alone. Common prescription combinations like decongestants mixed with bladder control drugs, antidepressants combined with sleep aids, or stomach drugs containing scopolamine and atropine create a snowball effect of brain suppression. Each additional anticholinergic medication makes the brain-damaging effects of all others stronger. Cumulative use over months and years creates permanent thinking decline that continues even after stopping the medications. Research shows that high cumulative use increases dementia risk by more than 50%. These medications work as slow poisons to brain tissue, gradually wearing away thinking abilities through sustained chemical interference. The medication audit approach involves reviewing every prescription, over-the-counter drug, and supplement for anticholinergic activity. This reveals hidden connections between seemingly unrelated treatments and enables informed decisions about which medications pose the greatest risks, where cure becomes worse than disease through unintended silent poison effects. After exposing these 9 medication categories that threaten your thinking future, let's shift focus to 3 powerful natural solutions that can actively shield your brain from damage and enhance mental clarity without any prescription required. Solution number 1. Walnuts and brain-healthy nuts. Walnuts and brain-healthy nuts provide direct brain cell support through their unique concentration of omega-3 fatty acids and essential compounds that actively strengthen brain cell structures. These powerful brain foods contain alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 that your body converts into the same protective fats found in fish oil. Unlike man-made supplements, nuts deliver these nutrients in their natural form alongside vitamin E, folate, and magnesium that work together to enhance brain function. Direct brain cell support happens because the fats in walnuts become part of the actual structure of brain cells, improving their flexibility and communication ability. Healthy aging depends on maintaining strong, resilient brain cell membranes that can efficiently send electrical signals and resist damage from harmful molecules. Regular nut consumption provides the raw materials your brain needs to repair and strengthen these critical cell components. Daily handful strategy involves eating about 1 ounce of mixed nuts, with emphasis on walnuts, almonds, and pecans for best thinking health benefits. This amount provides enough omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants without too many calories. Brain protection happens gradually as these nutrients build up in brain tissue over weeks and months of consistent eating. Nervous system structural health improves through the anti-inflammatory compounds found in tree nuts, which reduce chronic inflammation that damages brain tissue over time. Memory improvement becomes noticeable within several weeks as brain communication pathways become more efficient. These natural compounds offer brain function support by providing sustained nourishment that enhances both immediate thinking performance and long-term brain resilience against age-related decline and medication-caused damage. Solution number 2. Dark chocolate, 70% cacao. Dark chocolate containing 70% or higher cacao concentration delivers immediate and long-term thinking enhancement through powerful flavonoids that actively protect brain health at the cellular level. These bioactive compounds cross the blood-brain barrier within hours of eating, providing rapid improvements in mental clarity, focus, and processing speed. High-quality dark chocolate contains epicatechin and catechin, antioxidants that neutralize free radicals responsible for faster brain aging and brain cell damage. Immediate thinking enhancement happens because cacao flavonoids increase blood flow to critical brain regions involved in memory formation and executive function. This enhanced circulation delivers more oxygen and nutrients to brain tissue, while at the same time removing metabolic waste products that hurt thinking performance. Thinking improvement becomes measurable within 2 hours of eating and can last for several hours afterward. Strategic timing for maximum benefit involves eating 1 to 2 ounces of quality dark chocolate during periods requiring peak mental performance. Morning consumption supports sustained thinking function throughout the day, while afternoon intake can counteract the natural dip in alertness that happens in most people. Regular consumption over weeks and months provides cumulative benefits for dementia prevention through sustained antioxidant protection. Circulation and neurotransmitter production both improve through cacao's unique ability to stimulate nitric oxide synthesis, which opens blood vessels and enhances brain blood flow. These compounds also support the production of endorphins, serotonin, and dopamine, creating improved mood alongside enhanced thinking function. Consistent dark chocolate consumption represents a practical approach to prevent dementia, while supporting overall brain health through natural, research-backed mechanisms that complement rather than interfere with normal brain processes. Solution number 3. Turmeric with black pepper. Turmeric with black pepper creates a powerful team that provides brain inflammation reduction and plaque prevention through curcumin's strong anti-inflammatory properties. The active compound curcumin targets chronic brain inflammation, a key driver of thinking decline and brain diseases. Black pepper contains piperine, which increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%, making this combination much more effective than turmeric alone. This brain protection happens at the molecular level, where curcumin crosses the blood-brain barrier to directly fight inflammatory processes damaging brain tissue. Brain inflammation reduction happens because curcumin blocks specific enzymes and proteins that trigger inflammatory cascades in brain tissue. Chronic inflammation speeds up the formation of amyloid plaques and tau tangles associated with Alzheimer's disease. Regular consumption of properly absorbed curcumin helps prevent these destructive protein buildups while supporting the brain's natural cleanup mechanisms that remove cellular debris. Absorption optimization techniques involve combining turmeric with black pepper and a small amount of healthy fat to maximize bioavailability. Taking this combination with meals containing olive oil or coconut oil further enhances absorption. Brain protection requires consistent daily intake of about 500 to 1,000 milligrams of curcumin with piperine enhancement. Immune system and brain protection work together because curcumin modulates immune responses that can either support or damage brain tissue. This spice combination promotes thinking health by reducing oxidative stress while supporting brain function through enhanced neural plasticity. The dementia prevention benefits build up over months of regular use, creating lasting protection against age-related thinking decline and medication-caused brain damage. The most dangerous combinations involve multiple anticholinergic medications, sleep aids with bladder drugs, antidepressants with antihistamines, creating cumulative brain damage. Knowledge becomes your strongest protection tool against these thinking threats. Understanding medication risks empowers informed health decisions. Discuss concerns with your healthcare provider about safer alternatives if you're taking these medications. Your awareness puts you ahead of millions unaware of these hidden dangers. Share your experiences in the comments. Noticed memory changes with these medications, like if this opened your eyes to unknown risks. Subscribe for health content protecting your thinking independence. Share this vital information with family and friends who need to know these hidden dangers before it's too late.